Because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, this is the Dow Jones. This was a gap. You can see everybody that bought it during this time has had a loss, even though they're having a rally today. We've rallied. I'm sorry for the noise, folks, but there's nothing I can do about it. I'm a guest here, and I have to go. Oh, well, I'll just draw pictures until he's out of the way. Let's get this out of the way here. They don't speak English, folks, so there's nothing I can do. This is a pattern here heading down to me. Everybody that's bought it here over the last 8 days is losing money. They don't tell you that when you're watching the machine go up and down. This is a big rally, folks. We've rallied 700 points in the Dow Jones since last night's low. Last night's low was a perfect ABCD, just like we marked in the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Russell. So that was a significant bottom, and now we're having this move right here. All right, so that's all I wanted to do. Wow. Hold on, folks. Let me try to get up here. This is funny. Here's the gold market over the last few days. We came down. We dropped $410 from the high at 4,400. Since that time back, we've rallied back to the 382 twice up into this area right here, which is $150. Today's low right here was an ABCD pattern, and it was also sitting right on a nice little Gartley 786. A nice place to think you'd probably do it. There was another ABCD measuring right in here also, and it also came to those levels right in here, okay? So that's what we're watching here right now, and hold on one second. And that's Mikey. I can't do anything about that now. Hold on. All right, so there's where we are right now, and all we've done so far today is to make a high of about 50% from the last low that we made. And there it is right there. We just made that 50% rally. So the gold still looks bearish. Let's take a quick look at silver. Our guest today will be Norm Winsky. He's got some really big stuff coming up. Before I come back to you, we have to talk about this, folks. This is the cattle market. Do you remember I said sell cattle, sell cattle, sell cattle? Well, it's down another 8 cents today. We're heading towards this level right here. I believe we're limit down right now. I believe we are, but I'm not absolutely sure because I haven't seen it trade for a while. But if we looked at this on a shorter time frame, you can see how easy it was to just sell it on the opening today or yesterday. There's yesterday's sell. Here's today's sell right on the open. Down again. Yes, it is limit down right now. You can see that little dot right there means there's more sellers than buyers. And as you put this up here, this is what you're going to see someday in the stock market. Probably not in my time, but it will happen. Now you can see this cattle market, the bull market is now over, folks. We went from 248, we're down 40 cents in cattle, and that's what we're paying attention to here in the cattle market. Okay, get this out of the way. Now let's check the silver, and we will go over some of these charts because they're in the news all the time, and we'll see what's happening with it. So 1 second here with the silver, and we'll get up here, and we'll be ready to go, hopefully. Well, silver, come on, where are you? Starts with an S, used to anyway. Okay, here's silver. Also, you can see here, silver has actually bounced pretty good here today, folks. Let's get this on the hourly so you'll be able to see that we've had a pretty good rally here. There's the bounce today. There's our low yesterday. Looks like it was pretty much exactly at the 78% level, 61%, and here's where we are now, just rallying back in a bear market as near as I can tell by watching this thing unfold. Okay, now let's move over. And people are asking me about the grains. Yes, they're still strong because, when they said they were going to buy, they're buying, and that's pretty much it. I think we've reached the maximum objective in the wheat here on this. Let me show you this morning because I was watching this morning just for kicks and giggles here. And here's our wheat trade. Yep, we're there. You just made the ABCD in the wheat today, folks, right up there at 554. It's trading at 552. So there was your 382 pullback right here. There's your ABCD pattern right here at 56, and there's your 50% retracement right there. So that basically has completed that. So, but it has some more to go if you want to go for another 6 cents. But frankly, I would say I'd take a little bit of profits in here. At least we know that they're eating pasta, cookies, and bread one more time. So that's an interesting one to pay close attention to. All right. So, all right, let's move over here and we'll take a look at the soybean meal, and then we will move on and cover some of these stocks that people have asked me about. Not that I know too much about them, but I'm still going to do this. The meal had a day off. Look, it's been up here now, folks. This tells you that there's supply coming in here in the meal, folks. You've been here for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So, you don't want to be chasing it up in this area. So I would be not looking for a place to sell because it's pretty strong, but watch for a 382 retracement every day. I'm going to have to cancel these days on Wednesdays, folks, because I got 4 gardeners here. Oh, my God. Well, that's a price. Right. See, it doesn't do any good to say anything. Hold on a second. Al, I can't tell. How bad is it, Al? Because it's blowing my head right out of the water. I can't really concentrate. No background noise? I don't believe that. That's incredible. Fabulous. The guy's right outside my window with a blower. Okay, we got that one out of the way. We got that one out of the way. And now we want to come over here and take a look at a couple others here that we're watching right now. 258.11. NASDAQ is still moving up. And here's where we are with the NASDAQ. I wanted to show you the action in the NASDAQ last night, folks. You can see the ABCD pattern here. Let's just go down to the, I think it was a 13-minute or 8-minute. There it is. There's what I wanted to see. There was it's impossible. There. All right, folks, let's take a look at this here from this level right here, from this high down to this low. You can see there's your perfect ABCD. That was also a perfect Gartley right here. And I was watching it, and they were telling me that Japan and everybody was collapsing. And I said, well, this market's stopping right here. There we were pre-market. Here was the key, folks. You see the opening right here? This was telling you this thing really was getting ready to go bonkers to the upside. It's still bearish, folks. You'll see here from a high down there. Shut the front door just a minute here. Well, when you come, wow, this is not good. See, things not even working right now. Oh, dear, what's happened here? Here's what I wanted to show you. There's the opening price after we had the big run up. Gosh darn it, boy, this thing is really messing up here. That's probably me. There's your low. There's your high right on the open, right there, exactly at the 382. And as you can see, from there, we've skyrocketed up. Now, that tells us that 382 is a part of a BC swing, okay? So what you need to do is you need to mark that right here and put that one right there and move it up to right there. And where do you have it right now? At 25, something like that. 25, looks like 25778, 25793, and we're trading a little bit above that right now. So, and you also had another one right in here, folks, another 38.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, folks, this is the bond market, and you can see there was your high we made back on the 22nd. And 10 days ago, and if you look, today's high was just about 4 pips off of the exact 382, and of course it's come down quite a bit since that time. We're going to show you, we're going to come into some pretty strong support here very shortly, because there was our low way back here in September. Okay, so if we take our low right back here and go up to our high, you see we're setting right at the old 50% level right now. Now, there's no ABCD here, but that is a 50% retracement. So, and they've been here all morning below this one, around this 116 level. So this is pretty strong support. And if something should happen that they say these tariffs are illegal, well, I imagine we'll see maybe a 20-point drop in the Dow Jones. 20 points, from, never mind. All right, let's get up here. We got Norm coming up here a little bit. First question on the board, of course, is Tesla, which I'm sure is up today, down one day, up the next. And I'll just go through these. I don't do stocks, folks, but I can read the chart and tell you what I think about it. And here's Tesla, should be up today, I think. Actually, it's unchanged. So it's still hanging in there in this level right here. Hasn't really done much. The next one we want to look at here is Apple. We'll come up here. I don't know if you folks noticed it last night, but in Japan and also in Singapore and also in Hong Kong, there was a slaughter going on. Now you can see here is Apple. Well, it's broke, but then it's come back a little bit. It's hanging up in its area right here. And then we have to look at NVIDIA. That's the one that everybody talks about. And, Michael Burry is supposed to be negative on that. And he was the guy that told us about the housing bubble back in 2007, made a couple $2 billion on that. Wow, this is not even moving very much. NVIDIA is moving very little. Let's move up on an hourly chart. Wow, wonder which stocks are doing this, because this is an incredible move that we're seeing, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, then one other one that we want to always watch, and that is Palantir, because that's been in the news quite a bit. It's supposed to be how much it came back from our big oil. See, it hasn't even, there was, shut the front door, raise a minute. Slow down here, there. Okay, there's where we are right here. There's your ABCD pattern measuring to 206. News came out, and it's actually come down, and it's still down. It's still quite a bit lower than yesterday. So Michael Burry might still be right about that. This is nothing more than a big butterfly pattern that we have drawn here. And of course, with the news out there, that's amazing to see all these things unfold as we watch them unfold. And then there was one other, take a look at, that's Goldman Sachs, which should be up strong given the Dow's up 300 and some points. But that's not necessarily so with that. Here's Goldman Sachs right here, and we'll see what it's doing today. It's up a little bit. It's not doing very much. I'm surprised the Dow's up 350 points, but these are not going nuts to the upside. The futures are, but this certainly isn't. Okay, we got that out of the way. We got that out of the way, and that out of the way, and this out of the way. Now, I want to talk to you just about the overall market, folks, because this is having a big rally back today. This is the NASDAQ on a 13-minute, but let's look at this like we should. Look at it on the 4 hour so we can see what we've done and where we've gone, all right? This was the big move right here, where we made the big move right here. We dropped from 26,000 down to 25,000. We dropped 1,250 points. And then today you can see it's already back to almost a 50% retracement right here. And this is, folks, this is in like 3 hours, exactly 3 hours. It's made a 50% retracement, all right? So remember, everybody that bought it from there to there, all of those people have a loss unless they bought it today. So to me, this is a short covering rally, but they can take it up for a long ways as we see this go through here. We've seen the same thing in the S&P. We've seen the same thing in the Dow Jones and the Russell. All of them are doing the same thing. The Russell is still the weakest. Hold on, I want to get this up here to reiterate what I say. If you're going to sell something, sell the weakest, and that's the Russell. And what is it doing right now as we speak? It's making a 382 retracement of the high that we made back here 2 weeks ago. That's a 382 retracement, folks. It's taken 2 days, the 4th and 5th, to get to it right there. It's trading right there, 24.75. The high has been 24.79. Now it's still right there at that level. So if you're going to sell something, this is the one to sell. This is the weakest, all right? And you can see last night, there it was right there. I was watching it on the hourly because there it is right there. You can see there's your A-B leg, folks. There's A, there's B, there's C. Comes into 24.24. The low was 24.2250. Okay, so that's pretty close, and you can see the rally back. We made a 50% off of this high right here. All right, but when you look at it this way, it's only a 382 off of the high from right back here. All right, there it is right there. So you got two of them right there at 24.75. So if you believe the market's going to go down, this is the one you want to be selling. Don't try to sell anything else. Try selling that one. All right. So that's what we're paying attention to here today. And let's move on here. We talked about the wheat. We got Norm Winsky coming up in just a few. Oh, I got something very important to tell me. People have always asked me about this. Let's go back and talk about the Bradley model. Let's go back into time, folks. Hang on to your seats. We're getting into the old time machine, and they're going to get up here. We're going to go back 92 years to look at the stock market in the eyes of Bradley, Donald Bradley. He brought the book out in 46, but this was the formula. There's 1929. You can see the A, B, C, D leaning up to September 3rd. You notice how it says it should be down and then down and down. Look at that, folks. This is 29. This is 30. There's your rally into April right here. Here's your April rally right there. Look at that. Look at that date right there. Then it went down into 31, 32, and it bottomed in July of 32. And I'll bring that one to you eventually to show you that it was off about 2 weeks of picking the exact bottom. Folks, this is done hundreds of years in advance. These are just energy points among the planets. And when they line it up, they have a way of measuring whether they're positive or negative, and that tells you where we are. And what we're setting for right now is we're setting at something that's really quite quite nasty. Now, it might not be that way, but supposed to turn the 3rd. Well, today's the 4th and the 5th. Right? It did turn, and we had the rally back on the 5th. Okay, so it says we're heading down. I have to go with it, so we'll see. That's the main thing that I'm watching here this morning. Another one, okay, Bitcoin has been getting its clock cleaned. Oh, I think I covered RCA. Let's do it again here. This is the RCA stock from 1929. It went from 5 to 600 and something. And this was the crash week right here. That was the crash. It went from $600 down to 30. Then it rallied here into April 1st, and then it went bankrupt in 1933. This was the hottest stock in the stock market during the 20s, folks, because people were getting electricity and radio and stuff. And that was the big one. It was really big. Of course, you can see, I'm not saying that's going to happen to anybody else. I'm just saying that's what's happened in the future. And that's all I'm really watching to tell you is I've seen some of these happen again, but we'll do one thing at a time here. How much time we got left on the wall here, Al? Probably, we're coming back. Norm Winsky will be right up, folks. Stay tuned.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, folks, I believe we have Norm Winsky in the house. Norman, how are you?
Great. Thank you, Larry, for having me on. How's it going for you?
Everything's good. Please start. They're waiting with pencil in hand to hear what you have to say.
I have one question for you, if you don't mind.
Yes.
You made reference to that you were in some different location. I missed where you're at. Mind if I ask?
Yes, you can go ahead and ask, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm just joking, Norm. I'm in California visiting a friend. That's all. One of my trading buddies.
Okay, I was going to make a joke and say you were in an undisclosed location. Right there, go.
No, it's called Pismo Beach, where I used to be. So that's really.
Oh yeah, I remember you're talking about that a lot. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, let's move ahead now. We need to mention though that I was scheduled to be on your show yesterday, and TFNN had some technical difficulties, so I was not able to come on the show. That's why at the top of my notes here, it says November 4th. It will have no effect on the first half of my presentation, but when we get to looking in the future, we'll have to pretend it was yesterday, okay? Okay, so now I was last on your show on Monday, October 20th, and the folks who are new to me, here, notice that I got AC, means after the close, so that'd be overnight, and we'd be looking for that turn to occur the next morning, okay? And you'll see that effect when we talk about what I had coming up as of yesterday, because as you know, Larry, we had a pretty good turn here this morning. All right, so anytime we have a new moon, full moon, which had the full moon this morning, but back on the 20th, we had one coming up that night, and so we'll be reviewing that new moon in the sign of Libra. And anytime we have a new moon, full moon, we look at your financials, which are stocks, bonds, and currencies. Then you have your grains, of course, corn, soybeans, wheat, and precious metals, oil. And we're emphasizing sugar and wheat because the new moon was in the sign of Libra, and Libra has to do with sugar and wheat. Okay, then we also had three cycles to the U.S. chart. Interesting. Remember, toward the end of October, third week of October or so, we had a lot of stuff going on there with the go to the USA. And one of the things was Jupiter lined up with the U.S. Mercury. What is that? We're talking about the planets, where they were. We're mapping the planets where they were on the day of the Declaration of Independence, which is July the 4th, 1776. And Jupiter, is 11.5-year cycle. It's considered the Great Benefic. It's you get Jupiter lined up in your chart, and you might win the lottery or something. Something really good might happen. And Jupiter lined up with the U.S. Mercury, and Mercury's communications also has to do with, in the U.S. chart, with partnerships and negotiations. And so we had good stuff happening. You remember, made a lot of deals with other countries and so forth. And that was right there around the 21st, 22nd. And we also, anytime we have that to the U.S. chart, we want to be looking at U.S. stuff like U.S. stocks, T-bonds, and the U.S. dollar. And then also that same night, the night of the 21st into the 22nd, had Neptune changing signs. Neptune is a real slow mover, and it had been going forward. That's called direct, but it's turned retrograde from the point of view of the Earth. It looks like it's going backwards. We know it's not really, but Einstein would tell you that relative motion, that's what we're talking about here, is important. And so we had it going back into Pisces temporarily, and it's working its way 2 steps forward, 1 step back to leaving Pisces and going into Aries for 14 years, but it's going back home for a short time, going back to its previous home there in Pisces. All right, so now we're going to look at the charts. There's corn on the moon, and there's Neptune. And you see there we made a nice short-term high on the moon, and then we made a really nice low when Neptune got to the beginning, back in the beginning of Aries, and we had a nice rally there in the corn, so we went 100%, 2 out of 2 there. The beans didn't care. Well, we wouldn't lost hardly any money, but I marked it as a miss. Red arrow is a miss. Green is, you had a chance to make money. And you can see there that if you sold there, you would have just probably broke even or maybe made a little bit. So I marked that as a miss because we want to have an opportunity to make some nice money. Here we had the 2 points for the moon because the moon was in Libra for the new moon. That was a new moon. And so we gave that double points. And then we had the Neptune thing there for a big low and then up, and away for the wheat. Coffee, we had wheat on the list there for Neptune. And although we were only 1 day early, the drawdown was too significant. And so it's a heartbreaker. I had to count that as a miss, even though time-wise, it was within the envelope, the window of being a winner. If you sold there, you would have not been happy with, I think, about a 25 cent or so, or more, 30 cent or so, a drawdown. That's a lot of money in coffee, So we were too early on the price, but okay, and on the time window. Here's sugar. Again, that's a cousin to wheat. And there you see, there you made a nice short-term high, and then a big drop. And then here, again, if you sold there, you would have had to wait a couple of days, several days to make any money. So I counted that as a miss. I was probably too mean myself there, And here's crude oil. Wow, look at that. You're buying right on the moon. You're buying right near the low of the month there on crude oil. You didn't get the exact low. That was the day before. But you're pretty close to the low there the next morning. And then up, and away. The Neptune thing, with Neptune has to do with oil, but the oil didn't care. And so it just continued higher. So it went 50-50 on the oil, but you had a great buy there on the moon. Look at the silver. This was pretty nice. Rallied into the moon. There's a very nice top there on the moon with silver. And then you made a nice low there on Neptune right there. And so that's 2 out of 2. Here I'm going to be talking. I'm going to zoom in on the gold here in a couple of minutes because I was on the show and talking about that I thought gold was near a high, and I gave a price projection and a time projection. And there you go. There's right near within a few dollars of the high the day before, right into the new moon. And then you had a $300+ drop that day on the 21st. And then it just went sideways on Mr. Neptune there. And then here, S&P, we have the 4 cycle points, and I should have mentioned, wait, is it not on this page? But the stock market is the big basket of everything, so it responds to all these points. And it looks like we're going off for commercial, so we'll be right back. Right, Larry?
We sure will. Norm Winsky will be back with us, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, we're back, folks, with Norm Winsky of Astro-Trend. Please continue, Norm.
Thank you very much, Larry. When we went off to commercial land there, I was talking about the S&P, and we had 4 Astro events right within a day or so. You can see the green arrows there that we were making a top there, and then they had the first one on the moon, and then we had the 2 U.S. 2 U.S. points, and Neptune, all on that right there. And then that may not look like much on the chart there, but guess what? That's a 100 handle drop there. If you sold there, I think you would have been very happy. That's $5,000 on your S&P mini. So that worked out well. That's 4 out of 4, 100% on the S&P. And here's the bonds. They had everything but, I think, Neptune. They had the moon and the 2 U.S. points there. And again, you're right near a top there before. That's the high of the month there in October. And that's pretty good. 3 out of 3 on that. And then here's the U.S. dollar. We were early here, so that's a miss. We had 1 miss there. And then, but the 2 USA points worked out well. So you had, if you were patient, you waited 2 days, and then they had a big drop there on the 24th. And so then if we add up the green arrows and the red arrows, you had 19 winners, 6 misses out of 25 for 76% winners. I'm going to zoom in now on that gold trade. I sent out, I have nightly email updates for my clients, and I started telling them about this on the 16th of the month, that gold looked like it was about ready to go parabolic. That's almost straight up. When markets do that, I call that the death dance, as you know, Larry. And markets get parabolic, it's getting near the end. And then I went on to say that it could be the target price, the ultimate high, might be near the harmonic. That's a multiple of the January 21st, 1980 high of $875. And I mentioned that when I was on your show on January 20th, and that price is $4,375. And the actual results, according to barcharts.com, for spot gold for October 20th was 43.8060. Larry, I was off by about 60 cents there, you know, right? 50, 60 cents. Uh-oh, I don't know if you'll have me on again or not. Okay.
That's correct.
And then it, as you saw on the chart, it dropped more than $300 on the 21st. So that would have been a great trade. That was probably one of my best trades of the year in terms of immediate gratification, you know. All right, moving ahead here now, you mentioned the Bradley model. I do Bradley, my version of the Bradley model. It's Bradley inspired, but I change it quite a bit from what he was doing. And Mr. Bradley, with all due respect, never addressed the good old cycle inversion thing. I do that. I actually forecast when the cycles are likely to invert. And this chart here actually is the inverted version of my Bradley model, and that's the one that worked the best. And notice here, we had these cycle points here, Astro points here, and those are all pretty much, those were on there before I overlaid the actual prices. Here, for example, is the full moon, that first red arrow, and you made a short-term high there. You can see that. The next one was the Mercury. That's the symbol for Mercury, happy healing, and you made I think a short-term top there, right near that type, and then a big drop, and then you made a low here on the third one. That's PL is Pluto. That was Pluto turned direct, and that was the low near the low of the month, and so forth. There's a whole class there on that chart, okay? So anyway, and it followed the blue line fairly well, maybe 80% correlation there. So that's it. I did not show that chart when I was on the 20th, but I've been doing this every month since I started this, pretty much close to when I started this letter back in the late 70s and so forth. So now we have to go in our time machine now and pretend it's yesterday, because that's when I did these notes, and forecast for you that the night of the 4th, there is a important time window for turns of the market, and you may recall that the stock market had a pretty nice down day yesterday, so I was looking for a low this morning at AAC after the close, so we always look for the turn the next morning, and as you now know, the stock market turned, I think the absolute low was about 6 a.m., and then it made a little pullback low there right after the 9:30 Eastern time opening, and now it's, last I heard, it's up and away, I believe. Is that correct, Larry?
There's a big sell-off in the Dow Jones. It just dropped 2 points. Oh, it's come back now. It's making new highs, so we're okay.
Okay. All right, so anyway, we had these markets here. We're looking for the, here you go. This is, I failed to mention before. Well, I mentioned it, but I didn't read that line. Stocks potentially respond to all these events. Now, last night, or actually, it's a 24-hour window, that you had the full moon at 8:20 a.m. this morning, and the stock market, as I said, made its absolute low at 6, so it was off by 2 hours on the full moon. And then later today, we have the moon at perigee, and when that occurs within 24 hours, that's called a supermoon. It only occurs about every 14 months, and that's a big deal because the moon perigee means the moon's at its closest point. Those cycles are not the same length, so they only coincide every 14 months, and when they do, then you got a full moon and you got the moon close. If you go out and look at the night sky even tonight, the moon will look extra big, extra bright. And the market turns on that stuff. And there you go. So financial range, precious metal, oil, and because it's in the sign of Taurus, we might be looking at a turn here. And I know you're talking about cattle, and you sound like you're pretty bearish on the cattle, but we might be looking at at least a temporary short-term turn here in the cattle and the cotton. Okay, and then now coming up this weekend, if we get this stock market rallying for the rest of the week, then we might be looking at a turn on Monday morning. If this rally fails and we come back down in the weekend, then I'd be looking for a low. But our next window is over the weekend of the 7th, and we got two big things happening. Uranus, which is right now retrograde, looks like it's going backward from the point of view of the Earth, is in Gemini, but it's backing up back to Taurus again, the previous sign. And so that's often a change in trend point. That's good for oil, soybeans, sugar and wheat when it gets to 0 Gemini. And then also over the weekend for grains, we have Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius turning retrograde. So watch those grains over the weekend: corn, soybeans, wheat. Okay, well, I've been doing this about 50 years or more now. Depends upon what you count as my beginning, whether it was when I was a kid, a teenager, just getting interested, or in college when I started trading, or when I bought my membership on the Chicago Board Options Exchange. And can I come back?
Well, that's it, Norm. We'll see you soon. Let us know when you want to come back, okay?
No, let me come back,
We'll
please.
We'll post your data for you, so just put your chart up and we'll post it.
Please, Larry. I'm going to stay here.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, this is the Russell, folks. We were talking about that. I said, if you're going to sell anything, sell this one. This was a $24.75. It's now down $2 from there, so you made $200. And this is the same time that the Russell is now up over 300 points. The Dow is up about 300 points, and yet the Russell is still selling off a little bit. So that's why you want to do that. The question that someone asked, if there is a 3 drive to a bottom pattern here. Yes, they are, folks. Let me show you. There's several. Okay, let's draw this first one in right here. There's your first bottom right here. You draw that in, and that's that one right there. And then you've got another one, 1, 2, 3 coming in like that. So you got to draw that one in because each of the bottoms are a little bit differently. And then you have one more at the very end. That gives you the final 3 drive to a bottom pattern that came in right there. Now you can see if you do the ABCDs, it all comes to this level right here. And we've rallied 50 handles exactly from that low with Ben. But remember, everybody that's bought this, everybody that's bought Russell since back here is still underwater unless they bought it this morning. If they bought it this morning, they're okay. Other than that, they're not doing too well. So that's a market of stock. So that's how you have to look at it. Totally different than the others that we're paying attention to, but that's what we really want to be watching. Okay, now tomorrow's guest, we're going to have Jeff Huge of Alpha Insights, and I'm hoping we can have Mike Moore for more analytics on Friday because he's got some stuff. He's kept us in this oil market rocking and rolling pretty good. And then we're going to do an update on the grains tomorrow's show too. So stay tuned if you can. And live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. We'll see you on the flip side, boys and girls.